What is going on? We're back with another Psych Perspectives. Tonight, let's discuss Hassan Campbell. Hassan Campbell is one of the many alleged victims of Afrika Bambattaa. Afrika Bambattaa allegedly has sexually abused, molested, and assaulted young boys, young men. This has been going on for decades, okay? So, you know me, some of you might say I like to play devil's advocate. I personally don't see myself as playing devil's advocate, but more so of just looking at different sides of the story, looking at different perspectives, okay? Because it's real easy to get caught up on being with one side and thinking that one side, or there could only be one possibility or one answer. And the world is endless, the universe is endless, so possibilities are endless. And that's why I do these videos, because I see a lot of people talking about Hassan Campbell on YouTube. Some people are supporters of Hassan Campbell, some people are neutral, some people believe that Hassan Campbell is full of shit. And there's various videos of people, with using his name in the title, and they're talking about it. Some of them are using it to get attention and clout, and some have real concerns, and then some are doing commentary such as myself, So again, endless possibilities. There's never just one way, Maybe there is sometimes one way, but you get where I'm going. All right, so as usual, there'll be articles and video interviews or information. Links to it will be in the description box below. Something that I picked up in college. If you're gonna do research and talk about shit, it helps to have something to back up what you're talking about, or have something, some articles, some information, some type of research behind what you're doing, instead of just getting on here and rapping off at the mouth. I know that isn't gonna happen all the time, but if you can do it, try to do it, okay? So, and Google is your friend. The internet is your friend. Again, information is endless, So, Hassan Campbell. Okay? That is Hassan with 2 S. Hassan. Okay? Again, I'm gonna leave a link to his YouTube video in the description box below. You can check out, So, here we go from an article from vandigital.com. Okay, what happened to the young man that allegedly stabbed Bambattaa in 2013? What happened to that boy? Hassan Campbell rhetorically asked on the Queen's Flip episode 29 broadcast. All I know is I was one of the soldiers that was supposed to hit him. Hassan Poppy Campbell, ex-Zulu affiliate and alleged molestation victim who came forward with his story in 2016, exposed Afrika Bambattaa, pioneer resident DJ of Bronx River, New York, for engaging in sexual acts with young boys that steamed for decades. If you check out Hassan Poppy, he's always Bronx River, New York. Bronx River, you feel me? Bronx River Projects, you feel me? You can meet me there. You always will see Hassan Poppy mentioning Bronx River. Okay, so the abuse allegations took place in that area, in that neighborhood, okay, in those projects, as Hassan Poppy, in those projects, the Bronx Rivers. Okay, you get the point. Bambattaa allegedly began grooming Hassan Poppy at the tender age of 12, as he stated in the Dave Wedge interview in the October issue of Vice magazine. Bam was like the uncle that paid your way to college, molested you, period, in a quote. Let's talk about that. Grooming. Again, I've got other videos where I'm discussing abuse and problems of young people being taken advantage of by older folks, men, women, regardless of gender, regardless of sex, regardless of age, regardless of race, regardless of sexuality. These unfortunate events happen. He was being groomed by Afrika Bambattaa at the age of 12. Grooming in the sense, because I am a victim of sexual molestation. I can relate in a sense to the grooming aspect, where the perpetrator will basically try to get to know you, right? Try to form this bond, this relationship with you. It's like this, it's automatically a power dynamic relationship, because clearly the victim has a lower, most of the time, has a lower power stance. In this situation, Bambattaa is a grown man adolescent teen who's 12. So he's buying him things. He's taking him to places he likes to go. He's buying him food. He's getting him toys and gifts. He's really spending more and more time and effort with them. You're grooming them. You're getting them prepared without necessarily telling them what's going to happen. A psychological thing, you know? You gain the trust, and then eventually you can get people to do and say whatever. You're thinking, well, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to not trust me. I don't want you to not like me anymore. That's what grooming does, right? Hassan, there are several other men that came forward with identical allegations of DJ Bambattaa engaging in sexual acts when they were underage, allegedly. Groomed by the way of Black Book had nude photos of other young men in the vulnerable situation of the young men's living conditions, according to Hassan Campbell in Queen's Flip episode 29 broadcast. Bambattaa was the pederasty piper of the Bronx River of sorts, using his position in the hip-hop industry to woo young men with monies, gifts, as well as notoriety in the Zulu nation. Eat something. Again, this is what they do. How it works. That's how they do. There are other allegations from other young men with similar situations and experiences with Afrika Bambattaa. And again, like I said in the Kevin Spacey video, typically when you have multiple people coming out saying the same thing about one person, more than likely it's true. It actually happened. And there's other young men and young boys who are coming out accusing Afrika Bambattaa of sexually abusing, exploiting, molesting, assaulting them. Okay? And again, people abuse power, you know, because he used his wealth and money and his popularity from, you know, Planet Rock through Matter of fact, you know I gotta play it. You know I have to play it. He used his notoriety. He used the fact that he had hits like this. Everybody knew him. That's how he got the young men and boys. Hey. So like I said, he used his notoriety to get people's attention. And he's gonna use it again, just like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Kevin Spacey. Listen, they're gonna use it again to make everyone look at you, the alleged victim, like you're lying. Like what? Afrika Bambattaa? He wouldn't do that shit. They know what they're doing. It's a mind game, right? But then on Psych Perspectives, on the flip side, you know, y'all could be lying. He really could have been out there trying to mentor you young men, you young boys. He could have been trying to help y'all pursue music careers, help you get into the music industry. You know what I mean? There's always different sides, but I personally, in my personal opinion, I believe Afrika Bambattaa is a sexual predator, and he did, in fact, abuse young men and boys. I personally believe that. But again, I'm gonna bring this up, which brings us to the 5-year anniversary of the alleged stabbing, drugging, and date rape of a young Spanish man who resisted Bambattaa's pederasty acts by stabbing him. If you use logic, it's transparent as saran wrap that the young man obviously did not like same-sex advances Bambattaa forced upon him. This incident allegedly occurred back in April 1st, 2013, in which Bambattaa and manager Ahmed Henderson were stabbed in a result of the young man that came to his inebriated slumber. The chain of events that led to the alleged stabbings are still unclear, and the young Spanish man has somehow vanished into the dusky streets of New York after wanting to go public with his accounts of the alleged drugging, date rape incident. Y'all can read the rest of this if you choose to, okay? But you gotta ask yourself, why was Afrika Bambattaa and his manager, why would they both get stabbed by this inebriated person? But then on the flip side, Psych Perspectives. When people get drunk, high, or inebriated, some people wake up and they can be violent, they can be aggressive, they can attack. This is true. on me. And then some people wake up and they're laughing and hee hee hee. Some people wake up and they're sick as hell and are throwing up. So again, there's various perspectives, but I personally find it strange that Afrika Bambattaa and his manager would be getting stabbed by this unnamed Spanish man, okay? But that's just to give you some background on Hassan Poppy. Now let's get into the real, you know, nuts and butters, the gravy of this video. Why do people hate Hassan Poppy Campbell? Why do people question Hassan Poppy Campbell? Why do people like Hassan Poppy Campbell? Why do people support Hassan Poppy Campbell? I'm saying cannibal. Campbell, my bad. So here's my take on it, right? So there's videos on videos on videos. Hassan Poppy has his own YouTube channel. He's doing videos discussing Afrika Bambattaa, sexual assault, sexual abuse in the black community, religion, spirituality, advice. He does live streams, but he's also beefing with so many people, or so many people are beefing with Hassan Poppy, it seems like. And the reason why is the people that are beefing with him, they don't believe Hassan Poppy was molested, in the sense that they're looking at the different ages, right? Because the article says he was 12, but then there's other interviews and articles that say he was older, that he was 15, that he was 16, that he was 17, you know? And a lot of people are looking at it like, well, I was 15, 16, 17. I knew what I wanted. And I knew if I wanted to have sex with a man, and I knew I wasn't into that. Because I like pussy. I like women. I like titties. I like the bitches. And this is coming from cisgendered, heterosexual black men. But there are also women who are also looking at Hassan Poppy like, don't add up. So on the flip side, you could see that people are individuals. People are different. You may have known what you wanted and didn't want at 15, 16, 17. Poppy might have developed later on and didn't know that. Again, people are individuals. But since a lot of people tend to know, again, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So since the majority of people tend to know what they like and what they don't like, and what they will do and what they won't do at 15, 16, 17, it's kind of safe to think, oh, if I didn't want to be at this dude's house, I wasn't going to be at this dude's house. If I didn't want to be sucking his dick, or him sucking my dick, or him rubbing on me inappropriately, I would have been able to say, leave me alone, don't touch me. Matter of fact, I'm not going over here. Like, so I can get that perspective too, okay? But here's the thing. The grooming started at 12. So he had been psychologically broken down and exploited and manipulated, allegedly, by Afrika Bambattaa starting at 12. So by the time 15 rolls around, that's 3 years. So you can see how psychologically he could have been manipulated and under a trance. Like, because that shit happens, okay? The mind is something else, man. So you can see how he could be thinking, man, you know, doing things that he might have not done in a different situation without the manipulation that was going on physically and sexually, allegedly, you know? Or, because this happens, okay? This happens, all right? Because I think about my situation, and then, like, this stuff is actually documented. You know, I'm going to link you guys to some stuff in the description box below. Or you could actually start liking how it feels. You could like the physicality of it, you know? You're busting nuts, you're getting hard-ons, you're getting jacked off, you're getting wet. It feels good, okay? Even infants and babies touch themselves, and they keep doing it because it feels good. That is innate shit. Like, we innately as humans know, like, ooh, that feels good. So you might soon start to like what is taking place, even though what is taking place is premature, right? It shouldn't be happening at this age. At least society has deemed that it shouldn't be happening this age. And society also deemed what consent is, and the society also stated, well, we don't really think old people should be messing with young people and kids. So There's people out there beefing with Hassan, or Hassan beefing with the people. I don't know. You be the judge. But there's people saying that Hassan Poppy is gay, and they're assuming his sexuality because they're assuming that at 15, 16, 17, you know what you want and you know what you don't want. And why would you keep going over there if this person is abusing you? Again, psychologically, it's the same reason why some women stay in relationships with men who are beating their ass. I mean, we can say the same thing about slaves, Africans that were here, our ancestors who were slaves here. They could be saying the same thing. Well, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you run away? Some did run away. Some did escape slavery. But overwhelmingly, most did not. So psychologically, if someone's got you enslaved and terrified and scared and stressed out psychologically, you can do whatever the fuck you want with that person if you got their mind. Which is probably why the United Negro College Fund is always saying a mind is a terrible thing to waste. So you can see, right? But then you can also see where the people are like, no nigga, you gay. Because you can see where it's like you liked it, you liked how it felt, so you kept going back. And you was doing what you had to do because not only was you getting paid and groomed and supported, but it also felt good to you. So you can see all these different perspectives. But here's the main thing. At the end of the day, Afrika Bambattaa was a grown-ass man when all of this was taking place, allegedly. So regardless if Hassan Poppy liked it or didn't like it, Afrika Bambattaa was a grown-ass man touching and feeling and sexually, allegedly, with an underage person, period. So regardless, if it started at 12, regardless, it was against the law because the age of consent in New York is not 12 years old. So regardless, this was against the law, period. It have been taking place, period. So at this point, you know, whether you got beef with Hassan Poppy, him personally, or the situation, right? Because the situation, regardless, Afrika Bambattaa should have never been with him at 12. At 15. You know, he shouldn't have been doing any of that. So, come on, all right? Now, some people are saying Hassan Poppy is trying to do all of this for clout and attention and money and fame and notoriety, popularity. I personally don't know, but let's look at the perspectives. On one perspective, yeah, he came out, told the world that Afrika Bambattaa sexually assaulted and molested him as a child. Excuse me. Of course, there's going to be a lot of attention on him. Then on top of that, he's a man coming out about being a victim of sexual abuse, and he's a victim of sexual abuse from another man, and this other man just happens to be Afrika Bambattaa. So of course people are going to be like, trying to figure out what's really going on. Okay? Again, look at my other videos, because how society has doctored up masculinity and femininity, and what a man can do and what a man can't, and what a woman can do and what a woman can't, and what people can do and what people can't. Because of that, you know where I'm at with this, right? So of course everyone's like, oh my God. But later on, he's making, I'm subscribed to his channel, all right? I'm subscribed to Hassan Poppy Campbell, you ain't got no followers. I'm subscribed to Monty Woodgrain too. At the end of the day, they all have perspectives. Some of the times I can agree to what they're saying, and some of the times I don't agree with what they're saying, and some of the times I'm neutral. But I support both of the platforms because there's some truths in both of them, you know? Sue me. I'm so sick and tired of everybody just bitching and moaning just to bitch and moan. Like, if you don't like the person, okay, you don't like them, but what's the point of the beef and the shitty ass videos of everybody tearing each other down? Well, I know, entertainment, shit, we all know everybody wants to laugh. Hell, when Monty Woodgrain does the you ain't got no fathers, what kind of men got no fathers. Okay? Peace, people, peace, peace. When he does that shit is hilarious. Because if you actually watch Hassan Poppy, he's not that over the top with it. But when he does say certain words, it's hilarious because the way he pronounces it. But that's because he's from fucking Bronx River, New York. What do you expect? Shit. But I'm getting, like, this is getting like a super long video. I had to show different perspectives. Add your perspectives in the comments. But at the end of the day, I personally believe that yes, Hassan Poppy Campbell was abused by Afrika Bambattaa. I personally believe it. Okay? Links will be in the description box below. I'm out of here.